Good morning. Welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I am Pastor Eric Halseth. I use he, they pronouns, and welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary, as well as welcome to everyone on Zoom or YouTube with us this morning. Whether you've been attending this church for decades or it's your first time here, I am glad that you have joined us. This community is the special place that it is precisely because it is made up of people with many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders, and all are welcome here. All right, announcements. It is still March. I think this is the fifth Sunday. Tuesday is the fifth Tuesday. And it is the men's fifth Tuesday, oddly, potluck, supper, and discussion. So if you have a poem, song, piece of art, souvenir, etc., you are invited to bring it with you and share it, or share a story. Bring an item to share, and just tell a story about a meaningful experience or event. If you don't want to share, you don't have to. You can just listen as well. For more information, contact Gary Zinnick. On Sunday, April 12th, we're going to be having a multi-generational Earth Day service. I believe Earth Day is technically the next Saturday. I will be at the Bentonville Pines that Sunday, so we're doing it on the 12th. And so be aware of that, and multi-generational, so lots of grandkids and kids, and everybody is welcome, and we will all stay in the sanctuary for the day. The real reason for the announcement, other than that, is that Michael Act 7 is hosting a potluck afterwards, specifically focused on earth-friendly foods, vegan, vegetarian. All foods will be accepted. The focus is on earth-friendly foods. So just consider that as you participate in the potluck. Reach out to him to talk about what you would like to bring. Today is our fire drill. And today is the first of the auction sermons. Fire drills are very serious, and the auction sermon is about an absurd poem. So you're going to notice that some elements of the service embrace this absurdity, and other elements are very serious. So certainly the fire drill fits into the serious category. Laugh when you feel like it. Cry when you are moved to, and put your serious hat on when appropriate. The fire drill will be directly after the sermon, and after that, we will go into Berg Hall once the fire drill is completed. So it's a little bit different at the end, such as a fire drill. Last announcement, there is a men's breakfast this Wednesday, April 1st at 9 a.m. Main Street Restaurant, 3159 East Main Street. Our land acknowledgement lifts up the Chumash of Ventura, who have stewarded their ancestral and unceded territory for at least the last 11,000 years. This service takes place on the very same land. We honor their ancestors, elders, and descendants as they continue their deep spiritual and cultural connections to these lands and waters. The sacred laughs at our need for surety. The sacred laughs when we grasp at comfort. The sacred laughs if we promise perfection. The sacred laughs at a world that centers itself in the universe. The sacred also laughs every time we laugh. The sacred also cries every time that we cry. Feel the sacred in this space. Cry with the sacred in this space. But mostly laugh and feel joy with the sacred in this space. May it be so.
I am Worship Associate Sue Brinkmeyer, and if you are joining us by Zoom or YouTube from afar, we invite you to light a chalice or candle at home as Pastor Eric and Royden light the chalice of our free faith here in the sanctuary. Woo! You got it. Thank you. May this shared flame connect us all, whether near or far. Thank you both. Our call to worship this morning is Bewilderment by Mevlana Rumi. There are many guises for intelligence. One part of you is gliding in a high wind stream, while your more ordinary notions take little steps and peck at the ground. Conventional knowledge is death to our souls. And it is not really ours. It is laid on. Yet, we keep saying we find rest in these beliefs. We must become ignorant of what we have been taught and be instead bewildered. Run from what is profitable and comfortable. Distrust anyone who praises you. Give your investment money and the interest on the capital to those who are actually destitute. Forget safety, live where you fear to live, destroy your reputation, be notorious. I have tried prudent planning long enough. From now on, I'll be mad. Come, let us worship together.
Marvelous. Hello, y'all. I'm Zach Spencer. I invite you all to rise in body or in spirit as you're able as we sing Coffee, Coffee, we adore thee. You will not find this in your hymnal, so you just follow along here. You'll recognize the tune, though.
And now I would like to invite all of our young folks, or young at heart, up to the front for the story and gather up donations as you come. Now, there's not a lot of children here, so some assistance from the young at heart would be appreciated. So today's story is the book with no pictures. That is the only page of the book you will see. Those of you who are sitting closer to the front, you know, there's nobody in the front row right here. You'll be able to see what is in the book a little bit easier. But here we go. The book with no pictures. And thank you, Bob Young at Heart, for joining us. I'll help you stand up afterwards. Give it a hand. This is a book with no pictures. It might seem like no fun to have someone read you a book with no pictures. It probably seems boring and serious. Except, no matter what, Blork. What? That doesn't even mean anything. Blurf. Wait a second. What? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read. And I have to say every word the book says? Uh-oh. I'm a monkey who taught myself how to read. I'm not a monkey. And now I am reading you this book with my monkey mouth in my monkey voice. That's not true. I am not a monkey. Yes, I am a monkey. I am also a robot monkey. What? And my head is made of blueberry pizza. Wait a second. Is this whole book a trick? Can I please stop reading? No, thank you. The children are not going to answer. It's on all of you. And now it is time for me to sing you my favorite song. A song? Do I really have to sing a glug, glug, glug? My face is a bug. I eat ants for breakfast right off the rug. This book is ridiculous. Can I stop reading it yet? No. There are more pages. I have to read the rest. My only friend in the whole wide world is a hippo named Boo Boo Butt. And also, the kids I'm reading this book to are the best kids ever in the history of the entire world. Oh, really? Well, and all of you. And you all are the smartest kids and adults, too, because this, you all chose, no, I chose the book. I'm not even going to read that, even though it has no pictures, because this book makes grown-ups say silly things and make silly sounds, like glurgawacko, magrumpfadoo, aye, broog, 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 oomph, eemph, blaggity, blaggity, glibbity, globbity, globbity, glibbity, beep, boop, ee, badongy face. Oh my goodness. Please don't ever make me read this book again. And this may be the last time I do this. It is so silly. In fact, it is utterly and completely preposterous. Next time, please, 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 please choose a book with pictures or a story that includes the Buddha. Please, because this is just too ridiculous to read. The end. Bonk. I didn't want to say that. All right, now let us sing the children out to their classes. You can create the Bridge of Love, and we'll sing them out. Go ahead and go to class.
Okay, let's get serious for just one moment because we have important work to do. Each Sunday, this congregation gives away our entire offering to organizations doing meaningful work in the wider community or to funds that help people here in our own church. It is one of the ways we keep love at the center of our lives in this sometimes all too mad world. You can give by texting to the number on the screen, or if you're here in the sanctuary, by placing cash or a check in the box on the back wall, either during the offertory video we're having today or after the service. Our offering today goes to Planned Parenthood to ensure everyone can get the health care they need regardless of their ability to pay. Here, in Chenhua's own words, is her story of how Planned Parenthood impacted her life. She says, "I wasn't making enough money to afford insurance, so basically I started neglecting my own medical conditions, including my asthma. Everything had come to a stop because I had no other options. I had to take creative risks so that I could breathe. I resorted to over-the-counter remedies, and I even had to use my friend's expired secondhand inhalers. Then I discovered Planned Parenthood would help me, even though I didn't have insurance. I admired their commitment to ensuring everyone has access to affordable and quality health care. And I wanted to do more to support Planned Parenthood, so I started volunteering. Then I found out about the Affordable Care Act. I was excited because that meant I would be able to have health insurance and I would be able to use it at Planned Parenthood. Now I have the choice to get health care wherever I want, but I'm definitely staying with Planned Parenthood because I get the most compassionate and knowledgeable care there. I don't want to go anywhere else. Please give generously as you always do so Planned Parenthood can continue to provide quality health care to individuals regardless of income or insurance." And in honor of March being Women's History Month, Dolores Taylor suggested the following song, She by Dave Hollister. Enjoy the video.
She's heaven's angel, so strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama. Yeah. And Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. Nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that, you're educated, heavenly, eccentric, empowering. You're mine, she's a queen. You're my. Treat her like a queen. No price could be put on how much she's worth. So valuable, she's the soul of the earth. Yeah. All a part of God's genius plan. Powerful as she can be. Hey. The man's H-E-L-P. Yeah. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Educated, heavenly, eccentric, empowering. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Educated, heavenly, eccentric, empowering. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Educated, heavenly, eccentric, empowering.
We take time each week in our service to share with one another significant sorrows or joys that have come into our lives. We place stones in water as each joy or sorrow is shared to help us remember that we are not alone. The ripples that travel out across the surface reflect the ways in which those things that touch one of us touch us all. If you have a joy or sorrow to share, you can submit it on a link on our website, uuventura.org, or in our Thursday email bulletin, UUCV This Week. If you send it in by 8 p.m. on Saturday, it's usually shared that Sunday. Pastor Eric will now place one final stone in the water for all the joys and sorrows just shared and those yet unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be grateful for all that sustains us on the journey we share and for the ways we remain present for one another in times of joy, in times of sorrow, and all the spaces in between.
Please remain seated. And as we join each other in singing our meditation hymn, number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well
Today's reading is from Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, callooh, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe.
I'm going to admit I couldn't read it like that. I invite you now into a time of meditation. Place your feet upon the floor, close your eyes if you wish, and breathe in and breathe out, noticing your breath both as it comes in and it comes out. Breathe in and bring love into your life. Breathe out and let suffering go. Breathe in and let the tenseness of perfectionism leave your shoulders. Breathe out and let the world know you understand whimsy. Breathe in and cry with the sacred. Breathe out, letting your laughter mingle with the laugh of the sacred. Know that as you breathe, the sacred breathes with you. Thank you for the lovely song choir. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves and the momraths outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird and shun the frumious bandersnatch. How many of you remember that from being younger, maybe in school? How many of you just know about the Jabberwock as a pop culture reference that sometimes comes up in places? I mean, there's words in this poem that have gone from being made-up words of the mid-19th century by a poet and author to become actually in English language dictionaries. Jabberwocky itself has appropriately come to mean nonsense language. Well, chortle and galumphing are both found in the dictionary sounding exactly like what they mean. Onomatopoeia, for those of you who like fancy words. It's funny, though, even as the Jabberwocky poem is made up of nonsense words, most of which are meaningless, made-up gibberish, or jabberwock, we still understand the basic meaning of the poem, of the story inherent in the narrative. We understand this classic tale of a courageous journey that moves toward danger. And then the triumphant return after facing the fear that is part of such a journey. Thinking back to the story of the boy who understood fear that we read a couple of weeks ago, Niobe's journey up the mountain to face the monster, whose name is Fear, is the same narrative we follow in the Jabberwock poem. And our poem today is clearly not a culturally isolated tale. Someone finds the courage to go out and face a feared foe, and then triumphs over their fear and returns home a different person. This is a universal narrative. Pivoting a bit to David's requested survey topic, when he first told me on the evening of October 4th as the auction was winding down, I raised an eyebrow. "You know the poem The Jabberwock, right?" he said. "Sure, in Alice in Wonderland," I replied. "I'd like you to explore the theology of the poem," he said. Okay. Breaking down the poem, it's actually pretty simple from a narrative standpoint. A warning is given, a journey is taken, a monster appears, there's a moment of action, and then you return home. That's a very common story. And those themes of moving toward the unknown, the hero acts in a moment of need, change through necessity or adversity. And things find us. The Jabberwock just appears. The guy isn't even really searching. The poem says he's lost too deep in his thought in the middle of the woods. He doesn't look for him. He just sits there thinking about it. And then the monster finds him. But it's not a deeply theological poem. It just isn't. And David and I discussed that. That's not a surprise to him that I'm saying that. So in a moment of madness and trying to find something in the poem, I decided to translate it into a more understandable language. I'm sure you're all glad to hear that. Specifically into Gen Alpha speak. If you think the poem is absurd in its original state, have a listen. "'Twas peak cringe in the skibbity hour, when the yaplings cooked in the void, Albeit were the Goblin Core vibes and the mop-faced gremlins deployed. Yo, watch for the Jabberwock, bestie. That mogger with the cursed riz snap. Beware the feral bird of bruh, and dodge the frummiest banderscap. He grabbed his main character sword in hand, and a long time the op he sought. So deep in the Suscore forest he stood, and low-key overthought. And while he stood there fully shook, the Jabberwock arrived there skirt. With cringeworthy glare and skibbity breath came whiffling out of the vert. 1-2-1-2, and through, his blade went slashy slay. He ratioed that beast and dragged its head, then flexed all the way home, KK. And did you smoke the Jabberwock? Come here, my absolute icon. A frabjous day, we stay winning, he chortled with full gremlin mode on. 'Twas peak cringe in the skibbity hour, when the yaplings cooked in the void, albeit were the Goblin Core vibes, and the mop-faced gremlins deployed. The world is strange, unclear, and unpredictable. We expect a lecture on the meaning of a poem, and instead we get a different take on a poem that actually makes it more understandable to some who are younger than we are mostly. But our theology and the theology of the generations that come after us, what we believe about the divine, maybe about God, maybe about how the universe works, about how we live into our days, about how we treat others, our courage, our goodness, our fears, our search for meaning is often formed long before we can name it. It arises from the things we experience as children, those formational moments that arise out of the good and the bad, from people who are positive and negative influences in our life, from the narratives we read, watch, or listen to. And as children and adults, we often don't understand the world, but we still have to live our lives making decisions in response to what life hands to us. And like the Jabberwock, life brings moments that call us toward our own individual theology. Theology is not just, or maybe it's not even, an academic exercise, a spiritual exploration, or a creedal statement. It's not really maybe any of those things. It's an instinctive response to the unknown. So if our theology doesn't start in adulthood, it starts in stories from our childhood, songs we hear, emotional experiences, and what we were taught about things like love, fear, and belonging. We could ask each of ourselves, what stories or events shaped my sense of right and wrong? What did I learn early on that made me wonder about the universe and the divine? When I was really young in Boston, I was a typical kid. I went to school, I played with my friends, I loved Saturday morning cartoons, and I grew up watching PBS. All the shows. That's pretty much what we were allowed to watch. I watched a lot of them. And I still sometimes sing a Sesame Street song when I go for walks around here. I don't know if you all know it. I was a child of the 70s. We're all children of some era. If you don't know the song, no disrespect to you. Who are the people in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood? And it goes on, and who are, the people that you meet each day. And and then they go out and they meet somebody. Clearly, I still remember the song. I sing it in time with my walking. Not out loud, really. More like a breathing exercise, like a walking meditation that matches the cadence of the steps. And then when I see other people out walking, or when I go to lunch, or I get my hair cut, or I go to Harbor Freight Tools, or whatever I'm doing, I talk to people. I learn about them. I ask them how they're doing. I try to get curious about them and learn about them and learn from them. Last weekend, on my Sunday off, I needed to talk to Russell about some stuff. And so I asked the family if they would like to go check out the Center for Spiritual Living church here in Ventura with a detour to UUCV on the way, because it was my day off. Reverend Bonnie and I, she's the minister at the Center for Spiritual Living, we always enjoy our chats at lunch, and I was curious about this kind of UU-adjacent spiritual tradition. So we ended up low-key chilling. That's a Gen Z reference. In the last rows of the chairs at CSL. And they have something interesting over there. Behind the pulpit, there are, has anyone ever been there? Oh, a lot of you. Did they have the thing behind the pulpit? You know what I'm talking. So for those of you who haven't been, it is worth like one visit there. And I'll take that risk that you will not come back. Behind the pulpit, there are cardboard cutouts of various spiritual figures ranging from the founder of CSL physically on one side of the chancel, so he's over here, and let's see, to Jesus, baby Grogu, and Yoda as kind of a holy Jedi trinity. And like baby Grogu is on Jesus' shoulder and Yoda's next to him. They are a trio. It's probably on purpose. As kind of a holy Jedi trinity over here on this side. And in between is everybody else. And as you look, you keep discovering, oh, that person. Oh, who's that? And then you're like, oh, okay. Anyways, right in the middle, maybe right about there, center stage, is a cardboard cutout of Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers, you might know him. And seeing that figure, the clean-cut Presbyterian minister in the red sweater, I was suddenly taken back in time to any afternoon in the 1970s when you'd find me in the den, lying on the floor, watching our black and white TV, and entranced by Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. At that moment, sitting in the last row of CSL, it was like I was on a journey with Trolley from the house to the neighborhood of make-believe to visit Don Quixote, Daniel Tiger, and Queen Sarah. I was there. And when you think about that show, the emotional tone was always consistent. It was gentle, it was safe, and it was kind. The ways that Fred Rogers talked to and about the viewer were novel for their time. You are worthy. Feelings are okay, and the world can be met with kindness and love. What I was hearing at that point, although I didn't know it, of course, was a theology, but not a creedal doctrine. It was a way of living that exemplified human worth, compassion for others, and presence in the moment. And I'm realizing how much this explains about me. In the moments of our lives, in the Jabberwock moments, when challenges emerge unexpected from deep in the Susquehanna forest, and while he stood there fully shook, the Jabberwock arrived their skirt. With cringeworthy glare and skibbity breath came whiffling out of the vert. Moments that surprise us, that threaten us, or demand something unexpected from us. Illness, loss, conflict, really big life decisions. When these events press upon us, we don't pause in those moments to construct a theology right then. We don't have time. Life is happening. In these moments, we reveal the theology we've been carrying with us the whole time. But not all inherited theology serves us well, right? Does your early theology say, the world is dangerous? Or you are not enough? Or love must be earned? Or does it say, you are worthy? Courage is possible, and you are not alone. And that being said, we can revisit and reshape what we carry. We have agency in this life, and we can change even in the face of absurdity. The Jabberwock as a poem is ridiculous and meaningful at the same time. It can be both. And as you use, we know that life often doesn't afford us full understanding. It is often confusing, illogical, and even absurd. But as you use, we live with mystery and contradiction. We say every person has inherent worth and dignity, and yet we know people can do real harm. So we live in a tension between honoring humanity on the one side and telling the truth about damage on the other. We are a covenantal people with shared values, but we are always balancing individual freedom with communal responsibility. We often resist rigid doctrine, yet we still hunger for meaning, ritual, and moral grounding. We speak of inclusion, but inclusion is not a simple thing. A community cannot include every behavior equally, so we wrestle with the contradiction between radical welcome and healthy boundaries. Maybe these are the 6 impossible things before breakfast the White Queen challenged Alice to practice for 30 minutes every morning. In the poem today, or in Miobi's story about fear from 2 weeks ago, the hero returns and is celebrated. But it's not because the world made sense to the hero, but it's because the hero meets the world as it is. In the same way, the world meets us as we are, as the person we have grown into. And remember, what formed you in the past, the good and the bad, is still forming you. And what we experience now, today, is also forming us. And each of us gets a say in what we carry forward. May you meet that which unexpectedly finds you with the courage you learned long ago and the wisdom you are growing into. And if the unexpected becomes too much, may I suggest the following product as promoted in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Jujanta 200 super chromatic peril-sensitive sunglasses have been specially designed to help people develop a relaxed attitude to danger. At the first hint of trouble, they turn totally opaque and thus prevent you from observing anything that might alarm you. Indeed, may it be so, blessed be, and amen. Well, thank you. And now we get to the part of the service where we do things a little bit differently. Right now, when the slide changes, because maybe we don't remember the words, we're going to extinguish the chalice. Let's not stand up yet. We're going to do this one sitting down, because then I have to talk to you for a second. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into our lives until we are together again. And now there was some debate about whether or not I was going to pull like an air horn out from underneath there and go, fire drill, fire drill, fire drill, and like scare everybody, or we were just going to do something like practicing not panicking. The glasses that Douglas Adams was advertising were so you wouldn't panic. Don't panic. That's the line from the book. So normally in a fire, so this is why you do drills, right? And we're going to call this, it's actually a practicing not to panic drill, because an emergency can be anything. In a fire, there would be alarms going off. This is a commercial building. There would be sprinklers potentially going off on you. We don't want to practice that. That would be, well, I would get to replace the carpet. And most importantly, in any emergency, it's about remaining calm. So what we're going to do, we have some leaders here today, and in an emergency, they would rapidly throw on vests, maybe, because in an emergency, you don't know how much time you have. We are going to follow leaders out of a pair of exits from the building. Yukio, I'm not sure exactly who the leaders are, but they will identify themselves. And we will be going out through a door in Berg Hall near the picnic tables and a door on this side of the building. There are not a lot of children here. Lily is well aware of this, and the children are going to be exiting and going to the whale tail, as well as anybody who's working in the kitchen right now. So, and this includes everybody, even folks in the tech room. They have to go too. Oh, and this is out, and that's okay, and fire's out. All right, go.
Fire, 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 everybody out. Follow me, follow me.
This side, this way, this side, and especially people with mobility issues, this way.
I'm going to let them go first.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You were
You
welcome.
made a silk purse out of a sow's ear.
It took a lot of sewing. There was no duct tape on that. That was a finely woven silk purse, no matter the materials.
Where did you find the book with no pictures?
My son's preschool. And and it's a wonderful book. When you need more of a critical mass of children,
Yes.
because today Elle, my daughter, was just staring at the floor, holding her stuffy, and Royden was, I don't know what he was looking at, but not at me and not at the book.
I got a comment about where we're meeting. The fire trucks would have to come through here.
They would. I think in a we're working on the location. We would stay over here till the fire trucks had moved past. I think we would actually go.
They
We
like
would actually go over to the sidewalk.
they before we're all out is the only issue.
They might. They might.
Good morning, I have a question. When is the new members meeting?
Second Sunday of the month. So it'll be after the Earth Day service.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. I'm just letting them do their thing.
Yeah,
I don't have to do
absolutely.
anything. I can stand here and talk to you. Yeah, I got walkie-talkies. It was actually for the front door when we were
Yeah.
expressing concern about ice. But they actually are useful.
Yep.
What? Oh, they're going on.
What are they doing?
So the goal is to have an area here that is for people who have mobility issues because it is a long walk to that parking lot down there. And then, yeah, so. Coffee hour! Well, I hope the whole service did the poem justice. It ended up being, when I finished at 12:10 last night,
That's how I did my college assignments.
it was just Friday night was an auction dinner.
Yeah.
Saturday, Jackie spent 8 hours preparing